You are watching a master at work.
I am the genius of boxing.
I am an analyst, one of the best. I am an analyst, one of the best.
I am not a fan.
Hey, people. This is your boxing genius, man, from SBMBoxing.com, man. Giving you the latest, what's going to be happening Saturday, this coming Saturday. Again, right here from Little MGM here in my home. We're going to be seeing some couple of fights, you know, that Showtime this time is throwing. They're going to be a little bit decent, more decent than this past weekend. There was a bunch of bullshit, you know, bullshit fights. But eventually, you know, this weekend, things are getting a little bit more better into hand. With the exception of maybe in the heavyweight division, you got Dee Wilder, a guy fighting a Jason Cavern, some guy from out of Florida here. You know, that's going to be a crappy-ass fight also. And then you have Jorge Linares fighting a Taya, an Ira Terry. You know, both of these fights are bullshit fights, the way I see it, you know. Just like the past weekend fights, you know. Anyway, but we all know that Dee Wilder himself, excuse me right there. Dee Wilder's a guy who has 31-0, man. This guy's 31-0 in the heavyweight divisions, you know. He's knocked out 31 people. He's a guy that's just looking to be recognized out there by the WBC, WBO, the WBA, and anybody else who may be in hand to watch this guy, you know. His resume to me is not impressive, you know. The last guy that I think he fought was Malika Scott. Malika Scott, you know, hey, what the fuck? He knocked him out in the first round in 1.36 seconds of the first round. You know, the guy has never gone more than 4 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. He's looking maybe to see maybe he gets a shot at Valdemar, which I honestly doubt it. Okay, his resume sucks, you know. To me right now, he's ranked about maybe number 6 by Ring and number 3 by WBC. That's what I've been hearing. This other bum that he's fighting, some guy again out of Florida, who resides here in Florida. I don't know who the hell he is. Again, he's just a guy. He's a prize fighter to me. He's never fought no more than 4 rounds himself in the last 3 or 4 fights. But anyway, you know, we're going to go on the other side now. We have a good side now, which is going to be considering what I've always mentioned and been mentioning the fact about one of the contenders in the welterweight division that Mr. TPOB Mayweather himself should have challenged or call out. That's Mr. Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter is going to take on the Kell Brook. These guys, that's going to be a pretty good welterweight fight. You know, these guys, both of these guys, I think, are ranked 4 and 5 in Ring Magazine on the welterweight. You know, besides, you know, 1 Pacquiao, 2 Bradley, 3 Juan Manuel Marquez, and then you got 4 and 5, which these guys are respectively, the way I see it, in the rankings of the welterweight division. Now, we all know that Shawn Porter is very impressive. The guy's got some skills. He's got some speed. He's got some technical skills out there in the ring that, you know, we have seen him to demonstrate against Bradley and against other people that eventually, you know, they count him out. The guy's pretty good. The guy is an excellent defensive boxer, you know. The same with Kell Brooks. Now, Kell Brooks, on the other hand, you know, he comes out of the UK. Kell Brooks, on the other hand, he's about 34-0, you know, 32-0, I think. I'm saying, excuse me, 32-0 with 24 knockouts. But again, his resume to me is not very impressive in the sense that he has not fought anybody in that category that Mr. Shawn Porter has fought. Okay, Shawn Porter's resume is a little bit more of a higher skill resume than his. Okay, I would say that Shawn Porter looks good. Shawn Porter looks definitely good. Then eventually you got Bika. You know, Bika is also going to defend his title against Anthony Dirrell. Then the first fight, this is a rematch. But the first time around, there was a draw in that first fight. Okay, so this time around, they're looking to fight again and iron this thing out. You know, Bika looks like he wants to take him out and says that definitely he's going to knock him out this time. He's going to beat him this time, and there will be no ifs and buts about it. Then on the other hand, you got a kid by the name of Figueroa. The lightweight division, you got Figueroa Figueroa and Estrada, you know, Daniel Estrada. These guys are, that's going to be a war, man. That is definitely going to be a war the way I see it. That's going to be a hell of a fight, man. You know, the fights that we like to see, that I like to see, boxing, you know, at hands, the old school, you know, Duran style, you know, with Estrada, Miguel Estrada from Puerto Rico. These guys, you know, they went to fight. Everybody says, you know, TPOB Mayweather, boxing is box, win and don't get hit. Fine, we all know that shit. But, you know, you got to be good, though. But eventually, you know, guys, you know, I've been following up on this boxing, you know, and like I was telling my son, Kenny, from SBM, you know, letting him know a lot of things, you know, the way I feel about what's going on in boxing. You know, like one of the matches he just talked about in his previous video, that is going to be this Manny Pacquiao versus, how do you call it, Algeria. Now, how in the fuck is this guy going to get a shot at Manny Pacquiao? I don't know. But eventually, those are the things that are happening today in boxing. And again, I blame just promoters, boxers, TPOB himself, and I also blame, like I said before, now that the old man is gone, Jose Soliman, now you got Mauricio Soliman. Mauricio Soliman is an asshole, don't know shit about boxing. His old man does know about boxing. He knew about boxing. He loved boxing. Mauricio's full of shit. All Mauricio is an ass-kissing fool that they probably pay him bucks to do what he's got to do. That's the way I feel about this whole situation. But how do I see these fights? Well, Wilder, Dee Wilder, there should be no ifs and buts about this shit. You know, this guy's got 31 wins, 31 knockouts. This should be his 32nd win with 32nd knockout. It should go no further than his previous fights. He's fought only 4 rounds. I doubt if this fight goes 4. In the last fight, like I said, he knocked out the dude in 1 minute 36 seconds of that first round. I would imagine that this guy probably will break his own record in 1 minute 36 seconds. What do you think about it, man? And then this other fool, Jorge Linares, takes on this Ira Terry. I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. But it looks like Figueroa's, you know, Jorge Linares' resume looks better than, you know, than Terry's himself. So I give the edge again to Linares, you know. Now, Shawn Porter and Kell Brook. Shawn Porter and Kell Brook. That's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a skill fight. They have ins and outs, you know. And like Shawn Porter is saying, man, I don't think Shawn Porter is respecting him, you know. Shawn Porter says he's got, but I don't respect him. He doesn't show me anything which is going to be that I have to be aware of. Just simply an uppercut. And Kell Brook, again, you know, the guy that has 24 knockouts, you know, and this man, Porter, he has an excellent chin, so it's not going to be easy. So, you know, the way I see it, I'm going to give the edge to Shawn Porter, and Shawn Porter is going to keep climbing up that ladder. And I hope after tonight's fight with Kell Brook, Saturday night's fight with Kell Brook, I'm going to hope that Mr. TPOB himself, FMJ, TPOB, alias TPOB, would give Shawn Porter a crack at it. That would be the more or less the surprise, better surprise for me. Don't talk to me about surprising me with Danny Garcia, because that's a bunch of bullshit. Okay, so I'm giving the edge on this fight. I would see that Shawn Porter, if he's going to pressure him, he could end this fight before 10. But again, he could win on a UD, unanimous decision. You know, the Figueroa, the Figueroa with Estrada fight, you know, Figueroa and Estrada fight, I'm going to give the edge to this kid Figueroa. Daniel Estrada and Figueroa have fought one guy, I think is a Japanese, Nihiro Akawara. Nihiro Akawara, if I'm not mistaken. Nihiro Akawara is one of the guys that they have both fought as a resume. You know, and I think Figueroa beat him, you know, on the UD. Okay? I think that Bika, to me, should beat Anthony Dirrell, you know, and I'm going to give, again, the edge to here, Bika, because Bika looks like a better resume and defending champ, and there should be no problems. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you was to read this, little message I got for you guys out here, man. What does it say? You know, what does it say here? Read it good, man. Those who think they know everything annoy those of us who do. That's when I talk to you about the boxing genius, what he talks about. SBMBoxing.com. Love you guys. See you guys on my next video. Be cool. Good night. And guess what? For those of you who say I don't know shit about boxing, you could kiss my ass. Adios, mother.